The U.S. power grid could go down for a total of 18 months. Now, that's not my number. That is from the former head of the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, and what they said was scary. But this morning, meteorologists came out and stated that this winter could be the winter that tests it. Currently, we have 42,000 people that have already evacuated due to the Hawk Fire near Reno, Nevada. That's scary. We also know transformers can take about 2 years to replace. And then on top of all this, we have a polar vortex that is potentially forming and could cause chaos here in the United States. Let's get right down to it. It says right here, our power grid is surprisingly vulnerable. It says New York Times explores how attacks on only 9 substations here in the U.S. could result on a nationwide blackout, meaning we would not have any electricity for a full 18 months. That is scary, because what would you do if you couldn't turn on your TV, couldn't keep your fridge cold, couldn't cook, or couldn't charge your phone or turn on the internet? What would you do? Let me know down in the comment section below. How long have you gone any time in your life without electricity? How long? Okay? For me, it's probably been about 2 weeks, and this was when I was camping. That was it. This was also about 20 years ago. Completely different times. But look at this right here. It says the University of Houston report predicts U.S. electricity demand could rise 32% by 2030. That's a pretty substantial number. Okay, I want to read something to you. It says, meeting growing U.S. electricity demand will require more than new power generation, including expanding transmission, better utilization of existing grid capacity, and permitting reform. Okay. Says emerging energy technologies could play a larger role in the U.S. electricity system, including advanced geothermal and nuclear power, long-duration energy storage, and distributed energy resources and virtual power plants. Okay, but here's the thing. We are all talking about power. What are we going to do if we don't have it? Well, here's the thing. There was an issue recently that most people never even heard of. Most people didn't even know it existed, okay, or didn't realize it could happen. And I'm going to get to that in a moment. First, look what happened just this past week. It says the U.S. power grid is at risk of 18-month blackout. One city is now in the dark and has been for more than a week. Okay, I want to read something to you. Look at this right here. Okay. It says right here, one of the reasons why the grid is especially vulnerable is its age. According to the New York Times, more than 75% of distribution transformers, like on street corners and telephone poles, are older than their 50-year life expectancy. That's the issue. When we have our power grid is being propped up by stuff that is older than the life expectancy of it. That's not good. Meaning we need to replace this, but we do not have the people to replace it. We also don't have the inventory to replace it. We don't have enough power poles. We don't have enough transformers. We don't have enough power lines. We need more. That's the issue. But look what happened. Okay, this was back in, was it July? It's like July 22nd, I believe. Somewhere towards the end of July. Look at this right here.
Just before 8 a.m., the electricity flickered on and off for about 10 minutes. It was the result of data centers in Loudoun County, Virginia. In a story you will only see on News 4, Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Drew Wilder explains why engineers say this seemingly small blip is a sign our infrastructure is in danger.
Experts say the cracks in our infrastructure grid are starting to show as the data center industry consumes electricity at a rate the world has never experienced. Wednesday morning, that crack became visible to millions of Americans inside their own homes in a seemingly small way.
This is what experts are worried about, right? The data centers are such a big load on the grid that they can have detrimental impact on the surrounding grid.
Bob Marshall runs Ting Labs and sells this little device that plugs into your wall to monitor your home's electricity, and it can alert you if something's awry, is all to prevent an electrical fire.
You plug it in, connect it to Wi-Fi. It takes 30 million electrical measurements every second.
And with millions of these devices in homes across the country, Marshall's data collection saw something that he says should be a concern for all of us. He says at 7:56 Wednesday morning, our lights flickered because the electricity supply dropped, then spiked, then dropped, then spiked before leveling off about 10 minutes later. Electric grid instability felt from Chicago to Boston to Miami. The source, he says, Data Center Alley.
Okay. All because of data centers. But that's what we're seeing. And again, this is why I'm bringing it to your attention. Our power grid is vulnerable. You are seeing when data centers are seeing this disruption. Okay. We feel it right here. We feel it right here in the U.S. Okay. I want to read something to you. Listen to this right here. Okay. I want to talk about these data centers. But one of the issues that we're facing. Okay. Listen to this. Okay. Right now, one of the issues that we're facing is that we have more and more data centers popping up all over the place. Okay. But here's the thing. Data centers that were switching when this line failure happened in Virginia. Okay, it sent out the failure sent out a voltage disturbance, and what happened is they were going offline, going back online because they're switching from backup power simultaneously. All these data centers kept switching on and off, and so we kept seeing the electricity was flickering. It would work, it wouldn't, and it would just go on and off. That is a sign that our infrastructure is not capable of handling this load yet. Okay? But with that said, it's just a matter of time before things get worse. And according to meteorologists, they are saying that this winter is going to be a test. We are going to find out this winter how much of our electric grid can handle the load that it is under. Okay? There's been times in the past where certain utility companies would put out a notice that they're going to shut off all power at certain times for certain events. We've seen it during a deep freeze, which is scary that you lose power when it is extremely cold, which is why it's concerning that we have a possibility of a polar vortex here over the United States. Okay, that's going to be concerning. I want to show you something though. Here's what's currently happening. It's a hawk fire. This is near Reno, Nevada. Currently, it's over 15,000 acres. 42,000 people have been evacuated, and it is out of control. Look at this. It says right here, 10,000 northern Nevada customers are without power due to the hawk fire. Okay, so they are without power. Whether it is extremely cold out or extremely hot, you need power. You need electricity to just run your life. Okay? Right now, I can tell you that the climate is hurting. Okay, we are seeing a stress test right now just because of climate change. But look at this right here. It says a polar vortex warning signs emerge for winter 2026 through 2027 as Super El Niño builds. It says right here, early signs are emerging for a potentially more disrupted polar vortex during winter of this year. New long-range data shows a notable January weakening signal in the stratosphere, while several major background drivers are developing in the way that can increase the chance of a more dynamic winter pattern across the U.S., Canada, and Europe. Okay. Says, a weaker or disrupted polar vortex does not guarantee cold and snow for everyone, but it does increase the chance that Arctic air can break out of the polar regions and reach the mid-latitudes. It says, okay, that is key. If we are seeing the extreme cold temperatures are breaking out of those Arctic regions and into the U.S. and into Canada, well, that is a huge concern. I want to show you one last thing, or let me see if I can find it really quick. But the key here is what is going to happen. How is the United States going to be impacted? Well, you can see it right here, okay? You can see this little chart. So this is the stratospheric polar vortex. This is right here, okay? You can see kind of how it drops in. This is the tropospheric polar vortex. Now it comes down, if this breaks free, comes down into the U.S. You see Washington State over here, comes down, just touches very close down here, okay? And you got, Texas, all the way up, kind of see it. It goes up into the northeast. But here's the key, okay? This is extremely important. One of the things that we are or have been facing or have been concerned with is the changing weather patterns. That the weather has been changing. Certain cities and certain states are not prepared. We are seeing, especially in like the south, where we saw a pretty heavy snowstorm this past winter. Many states were not prepared for that. We had states that were actually borrowing snow plows and some winter equipment. They were borrowing it from other northern states, but yet those northern states needed the equipment as well. So here's what I can tell you. This is going to be a rough winter. Okay, it's going to be a tough one. But here's what I want to leave you with. If you are not prepared, don't worry. Okay, you still have time. Here's where the risk is going to be the highest. The northeastern snow load is going to be up there. Okay, Texas interconnection, and obviously California rivers. That is where we're seeing the most risk. Okay. That we could see rivers would overflow. We could see Texas, we could see their power grid go down, not just for a couple minutes, but potentially hours or days. And then as far as the northeast, the snow load. It might be too much, but we'll see what happens. Just want to share this with you because, again, what people aren't talking about right now is how is our power grid going to hold up, especially in times like this where we've already seen some strain. We're already seeing a threat on our power grid. If we were to see an attack on 9 of the biggest substations in the United States, it would be a 9 out of the 10. It would be a complete blackout in the U.S. for a possible 18 months. That's a concern. But let me ask you this one question. If you were to go without electricity for even 7 days, could you do it? Do you have the equipment or the blankets or do you have the candles or flashlights? Do you have the stuff necessary to make it for a full 7 days? Let me know down in the comment section.